Okay, let me put this up here. There we go. I am live now, and I hope you can hear me. If you can, hold on a second. I'm going down the road. I wanted to talk about the fact the Democrats are racist. And you say, Michelle, that's crazy. You know Democrats are not racist. Ah, contraire, my friend, contraire. We have in Joe Biden a president who has been diagnosed by his own DOJ as being unfit to stand trial because nobody would believe that he can't remember. He can't remember what he's doing. He can't do anything. You've seen him being led off the stage because he doesn't know where to go. He doesn't know where to stand. And he doesn't even remember. He said, in his response to the DOJ, what was it, a week or two ago? He said, why did they even bring up Beau? They had no right to bring up my son Beau, and yet he is the one who brought up the topic. And then they simply asked him, when did Beau die? And he could not recall when his own son died. That's pretty drastic, my friends. Pretty drastic. But this is the thing. You have, and I mentioned this the last time back in 2020, I said, look at the Democrat Party. They had 20 people running. They had a white woman, two white women. They had a black man, and they had a woman of color in Kamala Harris, and yet the two top, very tippity top of their ticket was two old white men. Two old white men. And so, of course, Joe Biden, to get the black vote, said, okay, I'll take a black woman to be my vice president. And so that's what he did. He picked her. But this is the thing, you guys. This is the thing. Kamala Harris, a woman of color, cannot replace an old white dude who has lost his mind. And the Democrats, he can't. The reason they said they wanted him is because they said he could beat Donald Trump. And yet, in all the polls right now, if the election were today, what would happen is he would lose to Donald Trump. And I just find it fascinating that nobody wants to point out the obvious. Nobody wants to point out the obvious. At least Kamala Harris, as small as they are, she still has her faculties. She is at least not losing her mind, and yet the Democrat Party refuses to give control to a woman of color. And they're in a pickle. They're in a big bag pickle, and everybody says, oh well, they're going to take it away from Joe Biden and give it to Michelle Obama. The great Michelle Obama. And Michelle Obama has come out and said, no, I really don't want it. If you remember, she doesn't want to leave the life of luxury right now. I don't believe she will do it. I don't believe she will. But, even if she did, look at what the Democrat Party has done. They refuse to give the presidency to Kamala. They have no faith that Kamala could beat Trump or any other Republican. They do not believe the black woman could beat an old white dude who a lot of people hate. A lot of people love and a lot of people hate. He is absolutely a divisive individual. As far as he divides, he makes you love him or hate him. But I want you to consider that. Now let's talk about this thing. I love the fact that in the past, 95% of black voters, now that's not 95% of all of the black people in America, that's 95% of the black voters. 95% have voted consistently with the Democrat Party. And I find this interesting. You have Lyndon B. Johnson, who was a white man from Texas on the Democrat Party, and he started the whole welfare program. And he said, I'm going to get those, you can look it up, I'm not going to say it, you can look up what he said, I'm going to get those, I'm going to use the word black folk, and they are going to be with the Democrat Party forever. They're going to be with the Democrat Party forever. And I just find it interesting how after the 60s, before that, the black people mostly had two parents. They had two-parent homes. And the great problem in the black community today, Larry Elder has cited this, is the fact that they come from one-parent homes, the single mother homes. And it is a great disservice to the black community. It is a great disservice. Now let's consider this, people. Let's consider this. We have in the Democrat Party an open borders that they have created. There have been more people coming across the border that we have no idea where they're coming from, who they are, or what they are about. We have that in this nation under Joe Biden, under the Democrat Party. Now, what has Nancy Pelosi said? What has she said openly? She said we need these people. Now remember, they are the great poor that just want to come here and work. And maybe some do, but it's not necessarily everybody. We know what a lot of these other people are doing. We know what they are. I'm talking about Democrats and racism. What does she say? What did, hey Michelle, hey Timmy, hey John Morar. What did Nancy Pelosi say? She said we need these people to come here and we need them to come and work in our farms. Oh my goodness. Didn't they say that as white men talking about slaves, black Americans coming here to be slaves in America? Isn't that racism? Isn't that terrible? But that's what Nancy Pelosi says, but nobody has pointed this out. Nobody says anything. Well, she's the white matriarch of the Democrat Party, so nobody wants to call her out on it. But she says we got plenty of crops in Florida that need to be harvested, and we've got to get some people to come here and do stuff. Now, if you will recall, I think it was last week, there were some people in Massachusetts, I think it might have been Boston, which is a liberal haven, okay? It's a liberal haven. You're not going to find too many Republicans in Boston, Massachusetts. But this woman said she had a lady come into her house, and she would put her in her house, and she would allow the woman to stay in her house, and the woman could cook for her. Okay, so she's your slave? So this is the party that has reached out to try to get more slaves in the country? Is that what they want the people to come across the border for? Is so that they will do what their master says for them to do? This is ridiculous, folks. Why is the media not saying anything? The media is not saying anything because they are the Democrat Party. They're not pointing this out. They're not saying anything, even though it is obvious. If the Democrat Party were not racist, Kamala Harris would be president right now. You wouldn't be waiting. You wouldn't wait. And this has been, I just don't understand. Please inform me. Please give me an idea. Enlighten me. Why it is okay. Why is it okay for Democrats to say, let's bring in the poor people and put them in the fields? Why is that okay? I'm just curious. Why is that okay? You tell me. And then they are the great party of, they didn't free the slaves. Let's be clear. Who freed the slaves? It was Abraham Lincoln, a Republican. Don't forget that. Because he said, we all have unalienable rights. Everyone should embrace what is in America. Everyone should be able to participate on an equal level. And nobody should be another person's slave. But what the Democrat Party is doing is bringing a whole bunch of slaves for big business, for their little buddies up at the top. This is ridiculous. Why is no one pointing this out? Why? Why are they not pointing this out? I don't know. But okay, you're going to replace one black woman with another black woman? I don't get it. Why not? If Kamala Harris is the one who is wanting to become president, why are you holding her back, Democrats? There's one other thing I want to talk about. This has been on my heart a long time. It's been on my heart a long, long time. I love the fact that Democrats go around calling Trump Hitler. I love it. You call Trump Hitler, and yet, who is in this nation calling for Jews to be persecuted? It's not the Republicans. It's not the Republicans. Look at it. Oh, we got to free Palestine. We got to free Palestine. And you want to wipe out the Jews. You want to wipe out the Jews. What? Who is it that actually wanted to wipe out the Jews? That was Hitler. That was Hitler. And yet, they say it is Trump, and Trump is the one who has been the friend to Israel. And Democrats are the ones, you find it in the Democrat Party, where they are embracing the killing of the Jews. You don't want to hear it? That's up to you. But the truth of the matter is this. There are Democrats who hate Jews. Democrats who want to wipe out the Jewish population, which is just like what things are similar, what things are alike, just like Hitler. Hitler is the one who wanted to eliminate the Jewish people. And if you're a Jew and you're voting for the Democrats, you're voting for your own extinction. I don't understand it. I really don't understand it, honestly. You embrace the party that hates you and wants you eliminated. You know, I just had these things on my heart that I wanted to say. I mean, it's obvious to me, and I don't know why it's not obvious to more people, that Democrats only use you for your votes. They don't really care about you. It's all about how can we elevate. And who's at the top of the Democrat Party? A white man top. I am the spokesman of the Democrat Party. I am the spokesman for the Democrat Party. Those are my thoughts. And I wanted to share it with you because I find it interesting. A party that wants to bring people in and enslave those people, have them work for lower wages. And guess what? You know what? The poor in this country, okay, this is the other thing that I find interesting. Oh, they're all about, oh, we got to go to war against Putin. We got to go and support Ukraine. The Democrat Party is all about supporting a war, and yet in Hawaii, when they had the Great Fire, you know what they did? They wanted to send money to Ukraine over the people of Hawaii. You know what they did? They wanted to send money to Ukraine over the people that were in Ohio that had the railroad debacle under, who was that? Pete Buttigieg in Palestine, Ohio, where they still have problems, and Joe Biden didn't want to go and visit. I wonder why he didn't want to go visit. Was he afraid he might die because he's so old and he might have a problem with the toxic water or the toxic fumes from the ground? Is that why he didn't want to go? Anyhow, those are my thoughts. You can agree or disagree, but I just found it interesting. The big party of, oh, we are the open party. We are the most open-minded people. They are so not open-minded. They have a place for you, Mr. Hispanic, coming across the border illegally. We have we're going to give you the lowest wages possible, and you're going to be our slave. That's what the Democrats actually say. As long as you'll vote for us. If you don't vote for us, we will come after you. Don't forget that. If you don't vote for them, they're going to come after you. That's what will happen. Don't be deceived. And then I'd love to hear your comments, your thoughts. Tell me where I am wrong. I just love the fact, honestly, I love the fact that Democrats have an opportunity to show the black women of America who vote the most, hey, black woman, we want to elevate your statue in America. We want to show that we love and appreciate you. And what do? They slap the black woman in her face because they have an old white man who is out of his mind continue being president when, listen guys, all of his cabinet knows he's out to lunch. They could absolutely replace him with Kamala today if they wanted to. They do not want to. I want all the black women to remember that, who go out and vote. Please, when you go out to vote, remember, it was the Democrat Party who refused to let Kamala become president, even though Joe Biden is, according to his own DOJ, not fit to stand trial. He's able to continue being president and hold the keys to the codes to the nuclear bombs. That's okay, but he could not stand trial because nobody would believe, because he's an old man, an old feeble man, an old feeble white man, and the Democrat Party refuses to elevate the woman of color. They refuse. Evidently they do not have any confidence in Kamala. But they allowed her to become the vice president with a man. Let's be clear, people. Let's be clear. They knew Joe Biden was unfit for office as far as his mental acuity in 2020. They knew that then, and they allowed him to put Kamala on as vice president, and she couldn't even win in the Democrat Party at that time. But he wanted to elevate a woman of color. So there you have it. The Democrat Party refusing to elevate the black woman because they have a white man who is incompetent. I'm talking about he's lost his faculty. It's not funny. It's really not funny. But, go ahead. Support your little white man, Democrats. Go out and vote. Vote for Joe Biden, the racist. Forget about the fact of what all he said in the past and who he was aligned with in the past. Oh yeah, let's talk about Joe Biden, he was also accused by a woman who worked for him when he was senator as raping him, and she got no voice in the liberal media. No, they wouldn't explain. They wouldn't even acknowledge the woman. They wouldn't even acknowledge the woman except, hey, let's go make up false reports about Brett Kavanaugh because he's a Republican. But, oh no, we can't say anything about the past accusations against Joe Biden because he's a Democrat. Oh no, we can't say anything about him. I just love it. I love the exposed Democrat Party as the racist that they are. They refuse to elevate Kamala Harris when you have a man who is absolutely, he has to be held, told which way to go, which way to stand, and he can't even hardly, let's be clear, he cannot even hardly read the teleprompter. And he has to go to bed really, really early, and they have to put a lot of drugs in him to be able to perform. Let's be clear. This man could not do a regular job, not any other job in America. Only can he be the, what do we want to say? The puppet president. He can only be a puppet president. So, everybody around him is doing whatever to get things done. And what has happened in the world, let's be clear, what has happened in the world is it is burning on fire. You got a war between Russia and Ukraine. You've got another war starting in the Middle East between actually Iran and Jerusalem. And the Chinese are looking at Hong Kong. They're looking at overtaking and taking it back. And you think a feeble old man like Joe Biden can do the job of president? Forget about the inflation that is out of control. Forget about the inflation that's out of control. Who does inflation hurt the most? Inflation hurts the most the poorest among us. That's who inflation hurts. They can't pay their bills. They can't eat what they want to eat. That has happened under Joe Biden. He's the one who made sure that we were not energy independent. While, Trump made us energy independent within his first 4 years. We were energy independent. There you have it. Like it or not, those are my thoughts. And you can comment below. Please tell me where I'm wrong. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.